Hey guys, what's happening? It's Andrew Walker here. We are here in Durban at the NAC. Robert Kiyosaki has just spoken. Now I'm sat next to George King, who's playing up from Paul. Now, when you join SAP, as you guys know, we have different strategies from student accommodation to multi-let to commercial to buy-to-let to flipping, all different. And I want to ask George, why student accommodation? So George, maybe introduce yourself to all my subscribers and listeners, and then we're going to get into why did you choose that as a strategy? Why not flipping?
Yeah. Hey guys, Georgia. Super excited to be at the event with Andrew at the Cashflow Revolution here in Durban. Andrew, to answer your question, why did I get into student accommodation? I think one of the main reasons, something that we're actually discussing as the event is taking place right now, is this whole concept of positive cash flow. Okay? So I used to invest in property since 2010, and I quickly realized the old traditional buy-to-let model, don't give us the real cash flow that we're looking for. That significant cash flow that's life-changing. And I did a lot of studying, a lot of research, and one of the most predictable higher cash flow strategies here in South Africa is student accommodation. And that's why I started venturing into it, and it's really been a life-changing experience for myself and my team.
Absolutely, George, but is it as easy as people think it is? You go by a house and you chuck students in. Surely there's a bit more to it than meets the eye. Like, if somebody's watching this, George, saying, but George, where do I buy? How do I know? Is it 10 months a year? Is it 12? How does it actually work?
Yeah, so definitely, student accommodation is definitely not just something you want to just jump into. I think Andrew also referred to this at our student accommodation workshop here in this week in Durban, that taking action is super important, but doing that without the right education is actually quite dangerous. So what we've done, myself and Andrew, is we've created resources and systems and processes that we follow in our own business and in our own student accommodation portfolio that other people out there can literally copy and paste as they want to start venturing into the strategy. And I think that's really the huge value add that we bring to the table for new student accommodation investors.
And to give you guys an example, George, where do you live?
So currently I live in the Western Cape, in the Winelands, in a town called Paul.
And where are your properties, your investment properties?
In the Eastern Cape, in Port Elizabeth.
So George lives in Cape Town, but he's investing in the Eastern Cape. But how the hell do you do that, George? Because I thought you must buy a property in your local town.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Andrew. So I think it really comes down, guys, to the systems and the processes. If you are able to implement that, right, you can literally live in one city and your properties can be somewhere else. It all comes down to the systems and the processes you implement.
And the network. You need to have the right people.
100%, definitely. And I think that's the massive value add for myself and my team to be part of the SAPN network, and why I journey with Andrew is because SAPN brings that network, that power team around you and give you the right education. And I think a very important thing for me, Andrew, is I paid a lot of school fees in the beginning of my journey, and it's been extremely valuable to be part of SAPN because this group, this network, and with your education, your team helps you to prevent the school fees and the mistakes that I've made in the beginning.
Absolutely. Now tell me, George, when we talk student accommodation, we're either going to go down the private market and we deal with the parents and we might even get 12 months, rent in a year, or I've met investors who just do NASPers. In your opinion, which one is better?
So this is a question that comes up at all the events. Everyone always asks, do I start with private or do I start with NASPers? And we are in the business of managing risk, right? So what we always tell our coaching clients and the people that we work with is we'll rather start with private students and working with their parents. And the amazing thing is if you bring them on board and you vet them, you get paid on a monthly basis, right? So for cash flow, especially for those guys that are beginners and coming into this sector, you want to be able to earn monthly cash flow on a regular basis. And we all know with NASPers, you're not necessarily going to get paid on a monthly basis.
So when do they pay you?
Well, it really depends on which province and which university, but some people sometimes wait 4 to 6 months to get their first payment in a financial year. So some people that's starting off in the sector can't afford to wait
Yeah.
4 to 6 months to generate the first cash flow to keep their property afloat.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that you understand that, right? Like George is saying, I met someone that did a big build in George, like 30 million rand. Didn't get paid till August. Now you think about January to August, your monthly bond payment, your rates and taxes, your electricity, your water. It's a lot of money, and it's okay to do that, guys. If you have the holding costs, or you got a bigger, or you got 5 properties or 6 properties, as an example. So I think George, that's enough for part 1.
Okay.
You know what, guys? I want to give you a sneak preview as to what's in that room. So George, can you take this camera and follow me?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we're going to keep it live. I'm going to do this for George. Close it up there for me at the bottom. So bear with us, guys. We're making this live. I love making things live because behind me, in that room over there, is the Robert Kiyosaki guys. So there we go, George. Okay, follow me. Let's go have a look. This is Emmanuel. He's the man that you want to speak to. Say
Hi everyone. This is Andrew. This guy is my mentor. If you want to know anything about real estate, especially here locally, if you want to make it, Andrew is the guy. The South African Property Investor Network, they don't play.
100%.
Lives have been changed.
Let's show them what's in this room. Yes, we have.
Let's inside and see what's going on.
Awesome.
So that it covers your expenses. When you get to the place where your passive income is covering your expenses, then you're at the place where you're financially free. You can start making decisions. You don't have to have to toil.
guys, we'll speak to you later.
And your expenses. How does that tie? Well, you see.